Inflation is at the highest point it's been in the last 40 years, and housing has never been so unaffordable. Today we're going to check out what cities people are leaving and what cities are people flocking to. My name is Tommy. I'm a real estate agent and mortgage broker here in Southern California. Let's jump into it. This article right here is from Redfin, and you can see a record share of home buyers are relocating as skyrocketing housing costs make affordable areas even more attractive. A record 32% of Redfin users nationwide look to move to a different metro area in the first quarter. That's up from 31.5% a year earlier and up significantly from 26% in 2019 before the pandemic even began. The article says skyrocketing home prices and rising mortgage rates have made relocating to more affordable areas the only viable option for some prospective home buyers. For a lot of Americans out there, for them to be able to even afford a house, they have to leave their city and even their state in some cases. Check out this graph right here. You can see 2019 pre-pandemic at 25%, and you can see how it's just risen the last few years to where we're at now at this record high. It talks about Seattle right here. Home buyers are leaving Seattle at a much faster rate than before the pandemic. And it says Seattle had a net outflow of nearly 24,000 residents in the first quarter, up from 10,000 a year earlier and about 4,000 2 weeks earlier before the pandemic began. Net outflow is a measure of how many more Redfin users look to leave an area than move in. So check it out. Before the pandemic, Seattle, people were moving in, leaving a little bit, and then boom, people are flocking. This is interesting. So this is the top 10 metros by net outflow of users and their top 10 destinations. So we're going to see the more expensive cities people are leaving, most likely a lot of Californian cities, and the more affordable places people are going to. So check it out. Net outflow, portion of local users searching elsewhere, top destination, top out-of-state destination. First, San Francisco, 52,000 people in Q1 of this year actually looking to go either to Sacramento, so they're leaving the city, going more into the suburbs where it's more affordable, or if they're leaving out of state, they're going to Washington. I mean, that really makes sense. Washington has no income tax. California has high income taxes, so there's a lot of tax benefits there and more affordability. Los Angeles, 37,000 people left. And interesting, they went to San Diego, okay, which is funny because San Diego is a more expensive city in California, but not as expensive as Los Angeles. And then they're leaving to Phoenix, Arizona if they're leaving out of state, which is funny. I mean, it makes sense. A lot of these cities we're going to see on this list where people are fleeing to, they're actually in the West Coast and they're right next to California because a lot of people are leaving California because of how expensive it is. New York, that's another city. People left for a lot of reasons. 32,000 people left, and they went to Miami, Florida. Look, top destination and top out-of-state destination, Miami, Florida. I mean, no income taxes. People were allowed to, during COVID, sort of live their life. Where in New York, you were shut down. Washington, D.C., wow, 25,000 people left, and they went to Maryland, top out-of-state and top just destination overall. Seattle, Washington, 23,000 people. They went to Phoenix, Arizona. Look at that. Boston, Massachusetts, probably really pricey. 14,000 people left, and look at where they went to. Portland, Maine. Wow. Maine, by the way, has the best blueberries. It's true. We went with my family, and we got these blueberry muffins. They were delicious. So if you're in Maine, get some of the blueberries. Chicago, Illinois, okay. People leave in Chicago for a lot of reasons. 9,000 people left, and they went to Florida. Florida's a winner here. Everyone's flocking to Florida. Denver, Colorado, 5,000 people left, and they actually went to Chicago. So some people are leaving Chicago, and some people going into Chicago. Minneapolis went to Chicago, and Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. Wow. By the way, if you don't like inflation, make sure to give this video a like. Maybe it'll help it, maybe it won't, but it helps this video do better regardless. Thanks. Nearly 6 times more home buyers look to move to Miami in the first quarter than before the pandemic. Wow. Miami was the most popular migration destination in the first quarter. Look at that. Sunny, relatively affordable areas are typically the most popular places to move to, a trend that has picked up with the pandemic. So we're going to look at the top 10 metros by net inflow of users and their top origins. So where are all the cities that people are flocking to? And this is going to be interesting. After we take a look and wrap up this article, I'm going to show you my marketplace, which is a sunny vacation kind of destination. And we've actually had a lot of people flock from LA and San Francisco. And I want to show you what it's done to the prices here, because it's one thing looking at these articles, but as a real estate agent in my area and mortgage broker, I want to show you like the real effects this migration is having on some markets like mine. So here we go, guys. Miami, Florida. Everyone left New York to go to Miami. You get better taxes, sunshine, freedom. Phoenix, Arizona. Wow. They came from Los Angeles. Tampa, Florida. Wow. They left Orlando, Florida and New York. Sacramento. They left San Francisco and they left Seattle, Washington. Las Vegas. They left LA. Cape Coral, Florida, they left Chicago. Northport, Florida, they left Chicago. San Antonio, Texas, they left Austin. Well, we know Austin's been getting really expensive because of a lot of Californians leaving and going to Texas. They go to Austin because it's a little more hip, and it's raised the prices. So then those people who are living in Austin, they're like, okay, we want to stay in Texas, but let's go to San Antonio and LA. Dallas, Texas, from LA, Atlanta, Georgia, from New York. Here's my desert housing report. This is put on by the local association of realtors here, so this is really great, accurate data, and you can see what's happened in my market. Look at the median detached home price. So not a condo, not a townhome. This is the detached home price. Look at down in 2010, you know, maybe around 100, 200,000, you could buy a home. And now check it out. The median price in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area is $670,000. And you could see it really just shot up here just in the last year or two. Let's look at condo and townhome prices in my area. You used to find, man, a really nice condo, even in 2019 for $250,000. I helped quite a bit of people buy nice condos in these country clubs that are safe, gated, I mean beautiful. And now $479,000, okay? That was a lot more than the detached home price even just a few years ago where it was under $450,000. I mean, that's crazy. The condos are beating detached home prices. This is where the numbers really break down. Start at the top with me, Rancho Mirage. Okay, you could see, look at the 2011-12 low, guys, right after the Great Recession. Prices now are $1.4 million, and you used to be able to buy a home for $500,000, okay? 179% change from the bottoms. And let's just, if you stick with me here on the right, percentage change from the record low prices after the recession, we're talking 157% for Indian Wells, 334% change for Palm Springs, Coachella, 300. 272, 249, 215. And this isn't just the detached prices. Let's look down here at condos, townhomes, okay? Look at this, 175%, 349%. Desert Hot Springs, 638% price increase. 638%. Forget buying stocks or cryptocurrency. Why don't you just put your money in houses and you can almost get 1,000% return? That's insane. And I'll tell you, Desert Hot Springs is one of those cities here in this area, you know, I can't say much, but it wasn't the best. But a lot of people started leaving Palm Springs because it was so expensive, and they started going to Desert Hot Springs and the surrounding cities. So even in my local market, guys, we're seeing people migrating from the other little cities to the other cities. It's nuts. And this is what's taking place across America. I mean, even with interest rates being at what? It's like 5.52% or something like that. I mean, almost going to be 6% for a 30-year fixed rate loan. Even with the high interest rates, people want to buy a home. People want to live in a home. They don't want to just keep renting. They want to own something. So instead of just renting forever, they're like, well, honey, whatever, let's leave. Let's go out of state and go to somewhere more affordable. I really want to know, guys, have you seen this happening in your area where prices have really gotten, through the roof from people migrating to your city or town? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date on the housing market, what are you going to have to do? You said it, subscribe. I felt like Nickelodeon or Disney Channel there when they're talking to a toddler and they're like, I'm whatever. Never mind. You got the point. Thank you, and see you again.